And that is right. Got a guest standing by, so let's make this as quick as I can. I am the man with the money. The man that's not funny. You must acknowledge me. I am the golden one, Ricky Goldman. And this is the channel that's better than any sizzling steak. The channel you must acknowledge. The channel that's the greatest of all time. And the channel that's not the second biggest event of the year, but the biggest event of the year. It's the People's Wrestling Channel. You must like and subscribe for those two shout outs. A little bit of more promotion getting out the way now. So, I'm me on Facebook, Ricky J. Pate, and follow me on Twitter, Rick the Rock 30. Let's get my guest in and get this underway. So, let's bring him in. And it is the one and only, the man himself, Graham.
I thought you'd forgot who you had as your ghost there, as your guest there for a minute.
So how are you? Are you today, Graham?
Hey, I am good. I've been busy working. I returned. Schools in America go back much earlier than what they do in England, so I'm back at work tomorrow. And I watched your intro, and embarrassingly, I just realized I haven't watched your predictions yet because you had my co-host Matt from Good Bad Wrestle on as well. So I got to go and listen to those as soon as we're done talking. I'm going to go check those out.
Okay, I think I've got most of them wrong, but there you go.
Really? Wow!
I think so. I can't remember. I think I got the main one right, but I think I was wrong on a few. I'm
going to be interested to see more particularly how my co-host did, so I can mock him mercilessly if he did badly. But I was watching and I was thinking, I bet he got at least, or probably got most of them right. He might have missed like one at the most. But yeah, I thought most of the results were fairly predictable, but I don't know. Perhaps we'll find out more as we talk.
So this will be the 2021 SummerSlam review, and there was a match. So many pictures here. Hang on. For the kickoff show, I can't even see. Jesus. There we go. Got no graphic for it, but Big E, Baron Corbin. Go on, what were your thoughts?
I'm going to be honest. I was working at this time. I had a lot of work to get ready for Monday, so I had my laptop out in front of me. I had it up on the screen. I kind of looked up, and the first few matches, depending on how interested I was in the people, was really how much attention I paid and how much work I actually got done. And I got quite a lot of work done in this match. I would have been disappointed if there'd have been any other result except for Big E winning this one. It didn't make any sense to let Baron Corbin win this one. His slide has just got to keep going down, 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 down. And you can't just run off with his money in the bank. That didn't make any sense either. So I'm happy with the result. The match was okay, but it was fine for a pre-show. Sometimes on that pre-show, they put a real banger on just to kind of get everyone like really hyped up. They didn't really go that way this time, and they kind of saved some of those matches for a little bit later, which I always think is a more sensible way to do it, to be honest. You either have Peacock or the network or whatever you have, or you don't at this point. I don't think it's kind of a little bit late for SummerSlam to suddenly decide, I might start watching wrestling. But
I thought this was okay. I always check if matches are fresh or not, and apparently the fresh match, that's always good. It was all right. I like what they're doing with Corbin, but if you missed it, you didn't really miss much. Mm-hmm. But the first match on the actual card I thought was good, and it was so many pictures again. For the Raw Tag Team titles, RK Bro, Randy Orton and Riddle taking on AJ Styles and Omos for the game of the Raw Tag Team titles. And I thought this was good. The crowd are really into it. Riddle, I like it. A bit goofy, but I like him. Orton, one of the all-time greats. Solid, good, opening match. All four guys look good. Yeah, a good result. What did you think?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was the next logical match to have. It was better than the previous match. I'm a big fan of Riddle as well. I was kind of glad that they came back together because it was a little bit sure, like, will they, won't they? They managed to work together. I'm glad that the titles changed hands. I thought that was the right move as well. It was satisfactory. It got my attention a little bit. I kept looking up to see what was going on. But, it was a perfectly satisfactory first match.
Matt actually said that he was expecting Riddle to turn on Orton. Well, there you go. But that Styles and almost
still happened.
And I think I've got a comment here. Might be Matt, might be somebody else. I'll just read it out. So a regular viewer, Holiday Christopher Mace, the opening match was good, and it went downhill for a bit. Yeah, definitely. The next match, wasting all of our time watching it. Alexa Bliss, Stephen Marie. It's going to take me a full 3 seconds. Bad. I would have had either win to get heat. I guess this is Doudrop separated now, but just bad. What did you think?
And I'm going to surprise you here, and this is probably the most against what most people thought on it. I actually thought this match was okay. I was quite happy with it. I thought they might do a little bit more with Lily. I thought there was going to be some animation, or there was going to be a pre-recorded scene or something like that. But I like the fact that Eva Marie messed with Lily. I like the fact that Doudrop kind of stayed out of it, to be honest, and just kind of left Eva Marie to herself. Everyone had a few little moves in. Alexa Bliss came out on top, which is the right decision. And I love Doudrop announcing it at the end that the loser of this match is Eva Marie. I was more impressed with Eva Marie than I thought I would be, to be honest. I wasn't expecting much, and I got a little bit more. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was a very different match from the previous one, so I thought that, hey, that's a great way of kind of breaking up the matches. So I didn't think it was as bad as most people thought it was, to be honest. I won't be rewatching it by any means at all, but I thought it was a perfectly good placement match.
I think, like I said, I would have had either win. I'd lost to Bliss. Well, Bliss losing wouldn't have done much. So what? She lost. What do they do with Eva now? What was the point of Eva coming back?
Get Piper Niven more recognition that she deserves.
That's good. I like Piper Niven that she's gone up to the main roster. She's on Raw. Fantastic. But they did it with Eva Marie. They could have done it with somebody else.
Thankfully, it wasn't a long match. It was only a few minutes long, so even if you didn't like it, by the time you'd come back to whatever you were doing, you're on to the next one. So I thought the length of the match was perfect.
Another quick comment from Chris. Got to get back to work. You all have fun. I give a D+. Okay. I can guess, I suppose I can understand why. But I thought this next match was good. I enjoyed this one. Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the US title. I like Priest. What were your thoughts before I give mine?
I like Priest as well. I'm not a big fan of Sheamus at all. And to be honest, I had to rewatch the highlights this morning because I had nothing. I couldn't even, all I knew was who'd won. I didn't remember anything from the match at all. And having watched the highlights, it was like, this was my meh match. I couldn't have cared less. Not interested in it at all. I'm happy with the result, but yeah, no interest.
Very quickly, I'll take a second to say this. I had to rewatch it. I was on a party last night. I had to watch the Jinder match because when I went to the toilet, it was over. The Goldberg, I had to watch the end. And the whole Cena Reigns match I missed because they sent us home early. So I was watching it on my phone and just caught the end. So I had to rewatch it today. But anyway, I did watch it and it was good. The Cena Reigns match, we'll get into it. This one, the right call. I like Priest. Yeah, they'll probably the best match so far into the show. Nice back and forth action. Sheamus is a very good heel. Priest is over with the crowd. Yeah, I think this is probably Sheamus maybe leaving soon. Possibly. What do you think about that? Or
I'd be quite happy if Sheamus left. I'm not a particular fan of Sheamus at all. The other thing that kind of gave this one away for me, as far as I was concerned, all the people who've been released recently, and they've talked about they're looking for people either under 30 or they got to be over 6 foot tall. I'm like, Damian Priest is huge. Like, it's pretty obvious they were gonna. You just know how Vince's mind works. And I was like, to me, that's why I had no interest. It was like, I'm pretty sure this one's changed. The title's going to change hands, and it did.
I knew Priest was winning, but still a good match. Sheamus is a good heel. Hopefully he doesn't win it back in his rematch, but it's WWE, so probably. But hopefully not. Next match was good, and this should have been on the main card of Money in the Bank, but it wasn't. Usos versus Rey, Dominic, and Mysterios for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. This was a good one. Great storytelling with Eddie Guerrero, the Three Amigos. The best, I think, the Mysterios have looked for this one. I think they made a mistake putting it on the kickoff show. They could have put something else on the kickoff show for Money in the Bank. Good match, good result. I knew if these were winning, a certain somebody else were waiting, which we'll get into, was winning later on. Yeah, good match. But then who else have they got on the SmackDown roster for tag teams, the Street Profits? That's it. Go on, your thoughts?
It was a good match in the sense I got a lot of work done. It was a match I'd seen multiple times before. I had no interest in it at all. I knew the Usos were going to win. I was listening. I wasn't really watching. And even when I saw highlights earlier, I was like, I've seen this. I'm not seeing anything different that I haven't seen before. And for SummerSlam, I hold them to a higher standard. And I found it thoroughly disappointing, to be honest. Nothing wrong with the match itself, but there was nothing that we hadn't seen before or you'd expect to see on a regular weekly show. So disappointing for a pay-per-view, in my opinion. Yeah,
true. So far, I said to somebody, this isn't very good so far for SummerSlam. For SummerSlam for WWE. I just thought, this is all right. Let's get into the next match and what everybody's talking about. Good or bad, they're talking about it. This match didn't happen, but it was going to be Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's title. That didn't happen. Do you think Sasha's got COVID?
I have no idea. It was strange that kind of Nakamura came out before the match and then nothing happened. I actually went to get a snack at this point and my sons were watching and I was like, oh, did I just miss the whole match? And they're like, Nakamura just came out for like no reason at all. I was like, oh, that's weird. And they were promoting the fact that it was coming up, Sasha versus Bianca. And then that didn't happen. So yeah, not sure, but strange that they kind of went along with the whole story that was what was happening and then suddenly to change the story.
So yeah, again a second. So yeah, Nakamura, Rick Booze came out. That was it. I think just to get him on the show, and he had no opponents. Even though I would have him face Cruz again, why not? So Carmella was meant to face Bianca Belair, but it wasn't. She's back. The man, Becky Lynch, massive shocker. But they buried Bianca Belair like that. So all the work Bianca Belair has done, she could have been a star in the making, and just like that, buried. It made Becky look strong, but at the same time, buried Bianca Belair. What do you think?
I don't think they made Becky look strong at all. I think they made Becky look weak. The fact that she didn't think she could beat her properly, so she had to take her out in 10 seconds. I was very confused with this. When Carmella came out, like of all the people, and the crowd's reaction was very negative. But then as soon as they announced Becky, obviously that totally flipped and everybody loved it. I'm going to disagree with you. It wasn't a total shocker at all. Like all the people that predicted on the Twitter ahead of time who was going to be there. Becky was going to be there. Brock was going to be there. We knew CM Punk was going to be in Chicago the night before. Like if you followed just like little stories, it was everything that people have been saying turned out to be true. So no, it wasn't a surprise for me. The only surprise was how are they going to fit her into the card. I did not like the booking at all. I don't like all the work they've put into Bianca. Why would you kill it in such a short period of time? You got Becky there. Why are you using her for such a short period of time? The only caveat, and I've heard somebody else talk about this, is Bianca got screwed on this one, so you know that she's going to come back again. They're going to have a rematch, and then obviously she won't take a cheap shot like that. So there is future story booking, but isn't this one of the big four events? Like SummerSlam is supposed to be one of your. You don't book Becky Lynch coming back for 10-second match and then that's it. So I hated the match. I loathe it. Even if something good comes out of it further down the line, I don't care. The people who paid hundreds or thousands of dollars to sit on those very front rows, you were cheated. You got to see Becky come back, but that was all you got to see. And no, I can see why your friend put a D+ for this rating. If this was SummerSlam was to end at this point right now, that would be exactly the rating I would be giving it as well at this point.
Could have, with rumours of Queen in the Ring in Saudi, could Belair win that? Possibly, if they do it. It's not 100% confirmed. I didn't think, you hear rumours, Becky, Brock, whoever, till they turn up, you don't know. Punk, very quickly, I'll go through that. Everybody goes, see ya, Punk! It was rumoured. Whatever. But back to this, I thought Becky's back. Why not? It boosts up the SmackDown rating. You've got Reigns and Becky and somebody else, which we'll get into. Next match, like I said, went to the toilet for this one. It was over like that. Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal. all the work getting Jinder Mahal on second biggest events for what? For a little bit of wrestling, DDT Claymore 1, 2, 3 done. What do you think?
No better than the build-up for the previous few weeks. Like, literally no interest in this story at all. I'm not sure why this is a SummerSlam match. You suddenly have him, you have Drew fighting for the title on multiple events, and then now you get him to face Jinder. Like, this is just so below what Drew's capable of wrestling at. No, I hated it. I absolutely hated this match as well. Having just come off that one where I hated Becky, and then to have this one as well, they just felt like at this point they'd been like back to back to back like matches where I was like, I'm not enjoying this at all.
And this did nothing for Drew. If they had a 30-minute match or something and then beat him, yeah, but he beat him in 4 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know how you can have a 10-second match followed by a 4-minute match. I don't understand it.
And say he got Jinder on SummerSlam, but
yeah,
I think it's Drew's a favourite, and they just don't know what to do with him. But they want him to win to keep the momentum going. But it's what do we do with him to throw him into this match? Next one, I don't know if you enjoyed this, but for the Raw Women's Championship, Nikki ASH, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte. The match was good, but not the result. So go on, you go first.
This was the match when I sent my kids up to bed. I was like, all right, it's like 10 p.m. now. You can go up. Charlotte's going to win anyway. So look, just go. Those matches are always pretty much 30-minute matches. Whenever they put them together, Charlotte's got to have her time. Rhea's going to have her time as well. And I was actually talking on there was a watch along that was going on, and I was actually talking with that person about what happened previously. So I was only catching bits of this. I saw highlights earlier. I thought it was okay. I didn't like the result. It was obvious Charlotte was going to win. They still want to keep boosting her totals up, even though they don't know what the total number is. And I would like 14, to go a little bit longer. But once again, it just felt like this is the same match we've seen multiple times. Like, I've already seen this on the previous weeks. Perhaps not exactly that combination, but there's been one or the other, and it didn't do anything for me at all. There was good spots in it, but I thought they could have done so much more with it, and not the result I was looking for, but it was the obvious result.
Yeah, I think it's 14 for Charlotte now. I think she's 2 away from her dad.
Sure.
I normally don't like triple threat matches. You have the third person just doing nothing, but this was good for a triple threat. You're right by saying you had Nikki versus Rhea versus. Yeah, all the same combination, but nothing fresh here. But good, SummerSlam size, definitely.
I'm hoping that Charlotte holds the title for a little longer this time. Like, if she drops this in like a month again, just so she can win a 15th one, then I'm going to be even less impressed with this result.
I would have kept the title on Nikki. Why not? It's just like.
Absolutely. Yep.
So frustrating. This gimmick's working for her. She's won the title, but then just drops it to Charlotte again. Wouldn't it make sense for Becky to come back and challenge for the Roman's title, the title she never lost?
I agree. That would have been much better. But yeah, they'd already booked that one, and if Sasha was unavailable, then she kind of has to go. But yeah, until we know what happened exactly with Sasha, then we're kind of second guessing a little bit how much their hand was forced.
Yeah, but this match, enjoyed this. Usos Mysterio so far, I thought that was the best. And Priest, the next match, very, very good. Dream match come true. Edge versus Seth Rollins. Very good. Edge looks in incredible shape for 40 hours. 47, 48.
Something like that.
The Brood entrance, really good, taking us back to the Attitude Era. Mm-hmm. Really good. Just, so good. SummerSlam size definitely lived up to the hype. The right results. What did you say? What did you think?
As soon as I saw this was the match that was on, I was like, all right, I'm going to bed as well. I was like, this is enough. I got to start getting my times adjusted. Not a big fan of Edge, I'll be honest. I didn't like his match against Randy Orton. I think both of them, I just wasn't impressed. I thought they were too long. I figured this one would probably go on a long time as well. And I was like, all right, you can figure out what the last few matches are. And I went to bed feeling really disappointed with SummerSlam. And then I woke up this morning and I watched the matches, not just the highlights. I watched the extended highlights of the matches. I was really impressed with this. I was genuinely shocked. I was ready to say it's Edge again. It's another match I didn't like. It's something I've seen before. And I thought they put on an absolute banger of a match. I thought it was great. I was really shocked how much I was actually enjoying this match. So, yeah, I was thinking, after I've seen this one, I was like, all right, hopefully they can keep the momentum going to the end, because you got the marquee matches coming at the end as well. So this was kind of the turning point for SummerSlam for me. I thought there was too many matches early where it should have been better. But no, very, very impressed with this match.
Yeah, Edge is great shape. Keeping up with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins really heals it up. Edge is a way favourite. So over with the crowd. Yeah. Great choice for having Edge win. And do you think we get to see another dream match against AJ Styles?
Oh, that would be awesome. I want to chip in one little thing about Edge, and this is one of my little pet peeves. Like people always talk about, the reaction Edge got when he came back for the Rumble. I'm like, hey, you forget he actually came back for SummerSlam. I was there in 2019 in Canada. The pop for a Canadian to come out after all those years and then take out Elias, it was phenomenal. So I enjoyed that Edge moment, but I didn't think this match would live up to anything like I'd seen previously. But no, it was good. I actually enjoyed the last match he had with Roman as well. I've enjoyed those battles, but I just didn't like the ones with Randy for some reason, even though everyone else seemed to love those.
But the Rumble, you knew it was cleared, you knew he's back, you know he's here to wrestle.
It was a proper match.
I think that made it better rather than just Spear. It was cool to see him in at SummerSlam. Spear Elias, it was a shocker. But way better at the Rumble when he came back to it full time.
I understand, but it wasn't as much of a shock then. If you know that he's in the ring spearing people, then you know he's coming back. And then to come back at that wasn't as big a surprise as what it was to see him at SummerSlam. But hey, that's my side of the story. I might be biased, of course, on that.
This next one, greatest match ever. Not really, not at all. Bobby Lashley, Goldberg for the WWE title.
Yeah.
For a Goldberg match, this actually went more than 30 seconds. I was saying to people around me, set a stopwatch. Spear, jackhammer, hurt lock, done. No, not at all. I think it went a good 10 minutes. For a Goldberg match, that's a long time. Lashley's a good heel. Goldberg is the only legend we've got. He's lost to Braun. He's lost to Drew. He doesn't really. Is he still a legend? He is, but he buries it. It's beating him mean anything anymore. And yeah, the right call, Lashley winning, but this protects Goldberg. Why couldn't it have been the Hurt Lock tap out finish done? So this was a okay match. What did you think?
I posted actually straight after the Becky match. I was like, those of you who thought Goldberg's match was going to be the shortest one at SummerSlam, then obviously you lost your bet straight away. I thought this would be a quick one. And actually, it kind of surprised me by the fact that it wasn't. I'm also not a big Bobby Lashley fan, to be honest. So I wasn't particularly that excited by this one. I actually liked it. I've seen everyone seem to slam this on social media. Nobody seemed to like it. They didn't like the finish, bringing his son into it. That kind of, me, actually solidified it why I enjoyed it. It kind of made, when you put the pieces back together again, it's like, oh, that's why they kept referencing him in previous storylines, or they kept pointing him out in the crowd. Like, they brought him in, and that kind of gives Goldberg a reason now that we know he has a few matches. They've, I think he has, is it 2 matches, 4 matches, whatever it is. I know they're working on a new contract, but it's actually given an impetus for a match. Whereas this match seemed like, hey, we're just going to bring Goldberg back because we can. And we're back in stadiums now. Now, I actually think we have a proper storyline to actually work with. I am curious, is his son actually training to be a wrestler? If he is, then I think that adds an extra element to that story. Obviously, we don't know right now because they've been keeping very quiet about that. I like the finish. I think Bobby deserved to win, obviously. But the fact Goldberg went 10 minutes was a big shocker. I did not dislike this match. I thought this was a perfectly good match. I actually enjoyed watching this morning. I was shocked when I saw the time length of this match. I was like, what? No, I was happy with it personally, but I know lots of other people were not.
Gage. They call Gage Goldberg. What a name! That just sounds like a wrestler right there. But yeah, he could be training. I think Lash is a great heel. He come from a horrible storyline with Lana. to length of Reigns to US champion, WWE champion, going over at Mania. I can't see who beats him. Where do you think beats Lashley?
Oof, that's a good question. Yeah, not sure right now. Not sure unless somebody comes back. Like, obviously, I'm assuming Brock's going to go to SmackDown. So I know we're kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but yeah, I don't know.
So let's get into the main event. The head of the table, Roman Reigns versus John Cena for the Universal Championship. This was good, really good. 3 EAs, one for the top ropes, one for the announce table. Cena evolved, but Cena also looked quite slow, and I thought, yeah, he's done. This is it. This is the last time we'll see him. Maybe at Mania for like an AA in a couple of years or something when they're in Hollywood, possibly. But full time, he's done. Yeah, and a lot of people are complaining only one spear to beat Cena. Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
protecting the spear, they're protecting that move.
Mm-hmm.
Really good match. But as soon as he said Reigns is leaving, if he loses, I thought, oh, yep, Reigns is winning definitely now. No cashing from Big E, but we had a return. Brock Lesnar. I think it's going to be Lesnar Lashley. I don't think just because he turned up to confront Reigns, I don't think that necessarily means that's a match. Anyway, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the last thing that you said was what resonated with me the most because I had the same thought. I was like, why would you be? That was a terrible thing to say on Friday. That if I lose, I'm leaving WWE. No, why say that? Because obviously you're not. Like if he'd have said, if I lose, I'm leaving SmackDown, then it would have been like, okay, he has a get out clause that at least you can go back to Raw or you can do something else. Yeah, it made no sense to say that, and it said straight away he was winning that one. Having said that, though, I thought the match was. I enjoyed the match. It had the spots in. Cena still shows that he can still work, considering he's missed so much time. The guy's a true legend. Roman came out on top. I like the fact it's just Roman as well. The Usos weren't there at all. There was no interference. It was just those two, and yeah, Brock coming out at the end. I'm quite happy to see Brock coming out. He looks very different. I think the hairstyle, he looks absolutely jacked though. Like I don't know if it's been like nearly a couple of years since he's been on, but he looked huge. I'm not talking like fat. He looked muscly when he came in. So yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine why they would put those two in that situation at the end for them to then separate and go different ways. I'm assuming that would be coming up at some point.
Do you think it's Lesnar Lashley and not Lesnar Reigns?
I think it's Lesnar Reigns.
And I think Reigns wins that. I think he holds the title until faces The Rock next year and beats The Rock. The Rock doesn't need the title. What do you think?
I'm sure Rock is coming back at some point. But yeah, I don't know. They could easily trade the title for a little bit as well, or they could get the Usos beating down on Lesnar so it's not so he doesn't lose credibility, and then he could go across to Raw and face Lashley. Sure, I think that would work. But I think that at some point they're definitely going to have a match together. So
The Rock is coming back. If it's not confirmed, it's definitely 100% rumored. Survivor Series. He's back for Raw, SmackDown, Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm. It is happening. I can't see any reason why there would be certain things when there's so many people talking about them. There's a reason why so many people are talking about them, and all the things that recently people have said have all come true. So I don't see any reason to doubt this one being true either. And we know he comes back periodically anyway, so it makes sense that it's been a few years that it makes sense that he would come back again.
Have Reigns confront The Rock, sets up the match for Mania, proves who the real head of the table is. Out of 10, I'm going to say 7.5 for SummerSlam. It was what it was. Good matches, just some of them were what rating would you give it?
I can't go anywhere near as high as that. There was far too many matches that I just plain didn't like, or I thought were plain bad. Yeah, towards the end there was a few that were much better than I thought they were going to be. But compared to, I did look back at the card from when I was at SummerSlam in 2019, and when I look back, I was like, oh yeah, those matches were it. So I thought SummerSlam 2019 was better. I can't remember 2020. I should have looked, to be honest. I'll go 5.5.
Okay, remember Drew Orton, who was a Universal Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Who was I can't remember who Universal Champion was. Was it Reigns? It was Reigns. Yeah. Wasn't it? I can't
I'm
remember.
terrible for remembering all those. Like I said, I had to look back at the one that I was actually at. So
Reigns returned and beat down Braun and Bray, and then won the title a week later at Payback. There we go. So yeah, it was Braun till a week later. So give me 1 second. Not that. That. Ron, so if you want to promote that. If you want to promote yourself.
Yeah, all the details are below. We do the Good Cop, Bad Cop Wrestling podcast every Sunday on Visionaries Global Media. Myself, Matt, and a variety of different guests. Ricky, you were on probably about a month ago, 2 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
We just chat, joke around, have a little bit of fun. But yeah, I would say just look on the Twitter feed. That's the easiest place to find.
Jesus, 1 second.
You got to find how to change it back again.
There we go.
There you go.
It just takes me a second. So yeah, definitely recommend you go to his Twitter. And just imagine if he has, if he wants to be a guest, if guests who want to be on, do they just contact you or?
Yeah, I would say if people are interested, we kind of have a booking group. Like there's certain people, I would say we've actually done, this is kind of like our first run through. So it's taken like 8 months and we've got people on who we wanted to get on. And we've got a group of people as well who obviously we want to return. And we have a next group of people who have contacted us since, because I booked like 8 months in a row. So, but yeah, people who are interested, yeah, they can certainly give us drop us a line, send us a DM, and then we can see where we stand. We always like to ask for a little bit ahead of time. We always like to see, just to make sure that the people will be a good fit on the show as well. Like we don't want to put people together who I don't think the show would work necessarily. But yeah, people who are interested definitely can send us a direct message.
And it was good for you to have me on. I enjoyed it, all different subjects, not just WWE, but AEW, movies. So yeah, it was good.
We have a little bit of everything. I like to talk indie wrestling as well. That's kind of really my specialty. Just because you get to see those people before they move up to the next level when they appear on WWE or AEW. So yeah, we have a good variety of things. There's a little bit for everybody in there.
Very quickly, talking about indie, I'm hopefully off to 3 shows next month. Hopefully, if I can afford it, probably do a review. If you want to catch it. But yeah, they're all indie. One I went to in July was good, and then the other couple of I think I've been to one before. The other ones I'm going to, so it should be good.
You can't beat live wrestling, that's for sure. And the WWE shows are special just because there's so many people there. But when you go to the indie events, it's special for a different reason. The fact that it's so compact. You're even the worst seats, and some of the ones I've been to are like 3, 4, 5 rows back, and you get a very different feel of what the wrestlers are like. You literally do get to interact with them. And like I've seen you post pictures, like you get to interact with the wrestlers a lot more easily than you would obviously at a WWE event. You're not suddenly going next to Seth Rollins and getting a selfie with him or anything like that, but it's much easier to do that on the indies. And once you have those connections with those wrestlers, then you support them much more. And you'll stay with them for a few years as well. So yeah, indie wrestling is definitely good priced entertainment. It's good, always good fun.
At the house shows, I found you're more likely to get a picture with Rollins, Cena, whoever. Not guaranteed, but more likely. Or more likely to get a T-shirt maybe or something. It seems to help the work to the ground more on a house show, so on TV. And then I've got time to go around taking selfies. It'd take forever.
Yeah.
3 hours of Raw would be John Cena going around taking selfies with people. That would be boring. So I'll take you out and just finish up. So thank you for being on.
Hey, thank you so much, Ricky. This was an absolute joy. I always love talking a little bit of wrestling, so that was fun to do today.
Okay, I'll just finish up. So yeah, thank you to Graham. Go and check out his Twitter. I'm sure he'll have you on if you're interested. If you're a WWE, AEW, indie fan, movie fan, I'm sure he'll have you on. Like I said, 3 indie shows next month. But the reviews don't stop there tonight. Takeover 36, 5 matches, well, 6 matches. Got announced match for a match announced for the pre-show, but the 5 main matches should be good. Catch my review tomorrow. I'm now off to spend the cash, and it is Hold on. It is on like and subscribe. Get me to 220 subs. It's Ricky. Ricky Goldman out.